Welcome back to the Bell Being Global Affairs Israel and Palestine Objective Analysis series. In this series, we give you the unbiased facts about Israel and Palestine so that you will have the information that you need in order to make an informed opinion. So today's lesson is about the Balfour Declaration. The Balfour Declaration is one of the most talked about historical documents when it comes to the Israel and Palestine conflict. And it reads, Foreign Office, November the 2nd, 1970. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of the object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, all the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Yours sincerely, signed, Arthur James Balfour. Now, Lord Balfour was the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom, and he wrote this letter to Lord Rothschild, who was a prominent Zionist. He was a zoologist, and he was a member of one of the most wealthiest families in Europe. Now, for those of you who are in America, the Foreign Secretary is the equivalent to the Secretary of State. Let's analyze this letter. When you look at the first sentence, it says the following declarations of sympathy with Jewish Zionists. Now, one thing that's interesting in this letter is there's only two groups of people expressly mentioned in this letter, and that's Jewish Zionists and Jewish people, which would lead one to believe that the letter is for Jewish Zionists as well as non-Zionist Jews. And the second group that's mentioned in this letter is the Zionist Federation. Now, you may be wondering, who is the Zionist Federation and why are they mentioned in this letter? And that's a very good question, one that we will discuss in a future video. Now, one thing that's very interesting in the second paragraph, if you look at the beginning of the sentence, His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine. Now, it's interesting that the land that this letter is speaking of is named as Palestine in this document. They could have called it a part of the Ottoman Empire. They could have called it a lot of other names. But as we see here, there is an acknowledgement that the land that this letter is referencing as of 1917 was called Palestine. Let's move to the next point. Second line of the second paragraph ends by saying religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. It's very interesting that the letter expressly said Jewish Zionists and Jewish people, but here we're seeing non-Jewish communities, and it doesn't mention who the non-Jewish communities are, which is a very interesting point. You know, why would one not mention the communities that one was referring to? And again, it says the communities in Palestine. So there's an acknowledgement, another acknowledgement that the land that's been spoken of is known as Palestine. And it ends again talking about the Zionist Federation. And we'll go into more details in that in the future video. So the question that I have for you is, the Balfour Declaration is commonly considered the starting point of the current Israel and Palestine conflict. Now that we've read this document together and I've briefly analyzed it for you, my question for you is, do you think it is fair to say that the Balfour Declaration is the starting point for the Israel and Palestine conflict? Or is it possible, if you really probe this document, if you really analyze it, that, you know, this document was not created in a vacuum? Something happened or was going on that led to Lord Balfour writing this document. I would love to hear your opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments and we can talk about it. Always, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you will know anytime we have new videos. I'll see you next time. Bye.